Welcome to a couple of bunkies.
About a year and a half ago, my wife and I were blessed with a beautiful baby boy.
With the new motherhood and duties that come along with it, not to mention being a working mother and having to pump during work hours, I was struggling to pump the milk for the baby. My main struggle was with the bottles that came with the pump and the hoses connecting to the pump. And alas, a lot of milk was spilled due to the poor design of this equipment. These bottles can be a little bit broader at the base so they don't tip over very easily.
And my wife being an engineer and me being a DIY woodworker found many annoyances that could be simply corrected with just a little bit of engineering. So as you could see in that little video, I'm going to have to make something so these breast pump bottles don't fall over. I take the diameter of the bottles and I create circles in ViaCAD. This is one of the projects that really shows how nice it is to have a laser engraver. This whole project was done in one 24-hour period. I was originally just going to make a 2-bottle holder, but I decided I wanted a wider base, so I expanded it to 4 bottles. I need to make this 2 levels. One level that would be flat, that can support the bottom of the bottles, and one with holes to hold it steady. And I need a center column that is tapered with small nubs that will stop it from falling all the way through. That center column has to be a little taller than the maximum height of the pump bottles. I plan to make a little ring or a hook so that it can be carried from the top. After taking measurements of the bottles, I put it into the design. So for the center column, I start off with a little square and I make the little nubs. The square is the maximum length of the smaller hole on the bottom of the tray. Now I tapered the top of this column. And I add 2 more nubs so that the top part of the tray can be held in. And I created a top ring to about the size that I wanted it so it wouldn't interfere with the top of the bottles. And again I tapered the section to the top of the ring and adjusted the size. And I adjusted the top level's cutout to correspond with the top part of the column. I added 4 circles to act as feet, since the bottom of the tray would have the bottom part of the column sticking out. I decided to add them to the center of the circles already cut out, just in case I wanted to make a car with the wheels later. We're going to be cutting this out with a laser engraver, so I made some necessary adjustments, like deleting unnecessary lines so the laser engraver wouldn't go over that area twice. Now I export this file and move it into Inkscape. And I change the stroke path to 255 red. This allows my laser engraver to read it as a cut value. So now I'm showing off a piece of cherry that I'm planning to use for this project. I resaw a lot of my own lumber for my laser engraving projects. I'm using some scrap lumber that I resawed by going to document properties and setting the custom size. And I'm basically making sure that everything will fit on that scrap piece of lumber. This changes the size of the black square in the background. Any object that I have outside of this area causes issues with my laser engraver. It looks like this one barely fits, so I'm going to have to move things around. So I'm going to save one file with 2 cutouts and one other file for the bottom cutout so I can use up this scrap lumber. So I usually save the files like part 1, part 2. And they're being saved as SVG files. And now we're ready to cut. We have an affiliate link with Monport Laser, where you can get a discount on all Monport Laser machines. Use the link below and use the promo code Timothy10 at checkout. I placed the workpiece inside of the laser engraver to start cutting. I use the vector cut setting. I have the laser engraver power level set to around 12. The piece of the wood that I'm using is a 1/4 inch thick, so it will take me several passes to cut out the final product. So here it is, me breaking it out of a piece of wood. Having a home laser engraver is an amazing thing. I can start off with an idea, design it, and cut it out all in one day. And if you design these things right, they fit together just like a puzzle piece. Now I need to go ahead and cut out the last piece. Now starting with the vector cut setting. Now we have the final piece, and I can go downstairs and clean it up. I use my new favorite tool, the spindle sander, in order to get any of the charred edges, and to soften any of the edges with a small chamfer. One of my biggest comments on laser engravers is that it leaves a small charred edge, so there's a little bit of cleanup that is required. I find myself using the spindle sander more and more for each project. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, and ring the bell icon for notifications on future videos. We also have a merch store where we have made custom t-shirt designs for woodworking enthusiasts. We also have an eBay store where we sell a lot of our projects, including our best sellers, our walking sticks. We'll make sure to include all of the links inside of the description below. Now it's time to do a dry fit. I absolutely love this. It's one of the more perfect projects that I've ever done. After everything is sanded down, I take everything over to the table saw and start assembling with CA glue and accelerant. I would normally be using wood glue for this project, but I really want my wife to be able to use this immediately. Now that everything's glued together, I can add some clear polyurethane. I I do 2 to 3 coats on this project with sanding in between, allowing 4 hours to cure per coat. And now you see it, the final product.
That made my life a lot easier, less stressful, and less emotionally taxing. This was a long time coming video since it was very personal to me.
And while my wife was experiencing so many issues, it was a relief to me that I can design and create something to take a little bit of the stress off of her shoulders.
And how lucky I am to have a husband that understands. And not only that, he comes up with a solution to my problems.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.